I beg to move the motion standing on the order paper in my name and in those of my right honourable friends. On Saturday, British forces went into action over Libya. The first British cruise missiles were fired from HMS Triumph at 7 p.m. Subsequently, RAF Tornadoes were deployed in several missions. This marked the beginning of our involvement in an international operation working with the US and others at the request of Arab nations to enforce the will of the United Nations. In line with UN Resolution 1973, there were two aims to these strikes. The first was to suppress the Libyan air defences and make possible the safe enforcement of a no-fly zone. The second was to protect civilians from attack by the Gadaffi regime. Good progress has been made on both fronts. I can announce to the House today that coalition forces have largely neutralised Libyan air defences and that as a result a no-fly zone has effectively been put in place over Libya. It is also clear that coalition forces have helped to avert what could have been a bloody massacre in Benghazi. In my view, they did so just in the nick of time. Today I can confirm that RAF Typhoon jets have been deployed to a military base in southern Italy within 25 minutes flying time from the Libyan coast. And these two Typhoons will be helping patrol the no-fly zone this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the whole House will join with me in paying tribute to our servicemen and women who are performing with their usual professionalism and courage. Our thoughts must be with their families and their loved ones at this time as they risk their lives to help save the lives of others. Mr. Speaker, let me be clear why these actions have been taken. On Friday evening, President Obama, President Sarkozy and I spelt out the non-negotiable conditions which Colonel Gadaffi had to meet under the requirements of international law set out by UN Security Council Resolution 1973. First, we said that a ceasefire had to be implemented immediately and that all attacks against civilians must stop. Second, we said that Gadaffi had to stop his troops advancing on Benghazi. Third, we said that Gadaffi had to pull his forces back from Ajabia, Misrata and Zawiya. He had to establish water, electricity and gas supplies to all areas, and he had to allow humanitarian assistance to reach the people of Libya. The removal of Gadaffi's forces from these towns would safeguard civilians, enable the aid agencies to operate there safely, and guarantee the humanitarian assistance that the UN resolution demands. So let me be clear, Mr. Speaker. The government's view is that these non-negotiable conditions are entirely consistent with implementing the UN resolution. Mr. Speaker, Gadaffi responded to the United Nations resolution by declaring a ceasefire. But straight away it was clear he was breaking that promise. He continued to push his tanks towards Benghazi as quickly as possible and to escalate his actions against Misrata. On Saturday alone, there were reports of dozens of people killed in Benghazi and dozens more in Misrata. Gadaffi lied to the international community. He continued to brutalise his own people. He was in flagrant breach of the UN resolution. So it was necessary, legal and right that he should be stopped and that we should help stop him. Certainly.
For the Prime Minister allowing an intervention. There's a great many people